working on a diagnosis problem. I noticed when I was playing through the piano quartet by Schumann that felt very easy to play. Whoa, I don't know, it's just easy. When I hit the Brahms G minor quartet, things started to feel very awkward. I just didn't like my sound quality. Felt like this is not quite what I wanted. I'd play it and go, So today I'm just gonna focus on what makes the Schumann easy to play and why is the Brahms feeling hard. Then I can work on exactly those things. The first thing I'm gonna do is just play through some of the Schumann and just get warmed up a little bit. Focus on remarking on what's easy. Stopping there. The melodic line there feels very easy to follow. There's a crescendo when I expect there to be. There's a decrescendo when I expect there to be. It's marked dolce, but it's a very sweet line, which lends itself to being played at a dolce. There are no surprises here. The one thing that stands out is there's this, I'd say, very pleasant emphasis on the second beat instead of the first beat. Right? The phrase kind of ends. Does 1, 2, 3, 4. That even helps a phrase keep going. You're not stopping in the middle of a phrase, and even the melody propels you forward. Schumann made us an easy job to do here. Another thing is that this is in a pattern of 2. I've got this kind of bigger phrase, and I'm building through it, and then it happens again. That happens so often in music that we're trained to spot those. It's just very easy musically to bring it out. That's something I'm noticing so far. Since I'm noticing these patterns of 2, actually they keep going. That's 1. That's 2. That's a different thing, so the first time, and then that's the second time, right? So these things keep happening in groups of 2 that I can pick out very easily and go, oh, there's that. I can go a little crescendo and then drop a little bit and keep building. Very intuitive 2 phrase. So okay, let's go over to the Brahms and take a look at how it compares. Kind of awkward because we got this forte. The whole thing's forte. There are even crescendos and diminuendos, but it's got this forte feeling. And then it ends, the very last note is a piano. So suddenly it goes to piano. It's like, okay, Brahms, you want a lot of change in a short amount of time. The other thing is that unlike the Schumann, you can actually accidentally stop. Like, stop in the middle of this phrase. When you're coming down from, you could, end, lose steam there, and then have the second thing feel very separate. Then you don't want to do that. You have to keep it going. And this phrase doesn't do you any favors. A lot of these small things make it just a little bit harder. Even on the fingerings and string crossings in this passage are trickier to think through because there's less going on with the actual line. Sound quality becomes that much more important, You could play it like that, just all in first position. But there's something that makes me think the end of that should feel a little more special. We're ending on this piano, so this should feel different. So, okay, maybe that should be in the, I should play it up here on the G string. Maybe even that little slur that you hear. Mini slide. And then it has to be a forte, right, technically. So That is a lot of thinking in these 3 notes. That actually felt better, right? We're doing something with that little tiny piece of this line. Then how do we get there? What do we want to do before? I think there should be some contrast, so I maybe would be inclined to play that in first position, or on the D string rather, right? But I don't want that open D there, so I don't want that. So the solution could be to cross over on the E or on the D. I like how that tiny little slide into that D that you hear if I'm switching on that D sounds. Very, very small, but that's where I want to do my string crossing and where I want that sound quality to change. So there's a lot of decisions here that because this line is not doing as much, you have to add more from the decisions you make on the instrument. And they are also going to stand out more because of that. Whereas in the Schumann, people might not notice just because the tension's on all the notes in that phrase. I think I've just scratched the surface. But this session shows how just trying to diagnose why is this feeling difficult, and then pointing out a couple things that, okay, actually this makes sense why it's hard. That helps me focus on practicing the right things. And so I am more focused and also accepting of why I'm failing at this. And that's important.